And we're live, guys. Understanding what you're looking to do in the gym, building your core, building strength, that is the key. It's like golf. The backswing is incredibly important. Now, the backswing doesn't actually hit the ball. It doesn't get you on the green. Okay? If you think about it, the backswing has nothing to do on the actual attacking of the ball to hit it up the fairway or onto the green. But that's where you get all your power from. The preparation is in the backswing, loading up to attack the ball. A lot of people try and focus on the attack. You've got to upload your attack energy, if that makes sense. So everybody, welcome back to the show. Today I want to talk about talk about fitness and what you're trying to accomplish when you actually are going to the gym, or you're trying to build muscle, weights, you're doing cardio. Now, many of you know I was a race car driver, and back in my day, we didn't have things as, well, sophisticated. The technology wasn't there, understanding the human body as much as they do now, right? I mean, I remember when I was racing, I started off with believe it or not, I started off with a personal trainer in my local gym here in Cork. And it was a lady, and she was okay. She had an idea of what sort of thing you should do, and so she kind of gave me 70% of what I should be doing, but she didn't understand what I needed to do. She really didn't get it. And you know what? It wasn't her fault, right? Because she wasn't a racing driver. She didn't specialize in this type of fitness. And the problem I had back in the day was there was actually no one to go to. Whereas if you're in like the lower levels like karting, Formula Ford, Formula 3, Formula 2, before you get to Formula 1 or IndyCar, there was no one there. It was only really until you got to Formula 1 where you'd have the proper personal trainer, the guy or girl to push you to the end, because they knew exactly from the technology what muscles were used, how to build that muscle, and what's the underlying current. I call it what's the backswing of your muscle, right? Backswing is key, crucial. So many ways, like I had to build my own racing program, believe it or not. And I went from using that 70% of that program that lady gave me, but it wasn't enough. Now, what I did was then I literally had to sort of, in a way, cheat it, because I just learned from all the F1 drivers like Schumacher, Hakkinen, Senna back in those days. What were they doing? Right? This is where I was, in a way, self-taught, but then I had to get that extra 30%, and I just started copying exactly what the Formula 1 drivers were doing. And hey, it took me a while to actually learn what they were doing, but the great thing was, if I was using the Formula 1 program, well, that's exactly what you're training for anyway, so it worked out brilliantly at the end. So I want to talk about like the backswing, as I call it, right? It's you gotta focus on the backswing and stretching too. Like understanding what you're looking to do. Now guys, just before I start delving into this, many of you know I've created 2 other podcast episodes on how to improve your diet. I was basing it off my racing driver's diet, which is very good. Now, okay, it was incredibly healthy. Now, does that mean it was going to work for everybody? Hell no. Because everybody's body is different. And it depends on what you're looking to do. But what I did was I understood a lot about this diet stuff. And I knew as well that food allergies is a big thing. So guys, check out that episode as well. I think I have it called My Racing Driver's Diet Will Help You. It's one of my my earlier episodes. But you see, in this, what I'm talking about is, I would say, 80% of what people need in their diet. I was the proper amounts of fruit, veg, meat. But the thing is, if you're training to be a golfer or a tennis player, you're going to have a different program. But I mean, 80% of it would be very similar. But that 20% extra means a lot. So, I hope I can give you some pointers, but really what you need to do is understand your body, food allergy wise. If anybody's looking to train or improve your outright cardio or gaining weights, I know this for a fact, check out your allergies. Are you allergic to certain foods? Because if you're allergic to a food, it's going to make you feel weaker. If you're feeling weaker, you're going to the gym, you don't have the energy. You're wondering, geez, what the fuck? What's wrong with me here, man? And then you're not pushing yourself because you can't lift that extra 10 kilos or whatever it is. So it really is about finding out your base. Okay? Always get to the root of your body. Listen to your body. Hey, even if you don't listen to it, fucking get an allergy test and they'll tell you what foods you're allergic to. It worked wonders for me as I was growing up. It kept me healthy. It just improved my life so much. It was amazing. It really was. It really was. So what I would say to anybody starting out, get the food allergy in. Now, yeah, they can be kind of expensive. You could be looking at maybe €200 now at this stage, or $200. So they can be quite expensive. But guys, if you're going to commit to something, and hey, even if you're not actually trying to gain weight and going to the gym or cardio, just so you know yourself, because your mental state, your body, you'll sleep better, you'll need less sleep. It is truly astounding what food allergies can do to your body. So, that would be number 1 on the list I would go for. Number 2, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to build weights, your muscle? Are you looking to improve your cardio? Now, I do know one thing they have in common, a huge thing they have in common, and this is the number 1 thing they have, is your core. If your core is strong, you can do a hell of a lot amount of cardio. You can do a hell of a lot of heavier weights than you thought you could. Because when you think about it, if you isolate the muscles that you use, let's say even in cardio, right? You're running up the hill, okay? Now sometimes, you're pushing, but a lot of that extra bit comes from your gut, your core. That extra horsepower or torque, you want to call it. Now, I would like to consider that your backswing, like in golf, right? Because if you improve your backswing, if you improve your core, you're going to be able to go on the attack, lifting better weights. Because a lot of people, they go into the gym, and they're lifting weights or they're doing cardio, but nobody actually ever improves their core. It's insane. Like, I play golf every now and then, and I improve my core by doing handstand push-ups. Okay, I started doing those in lockdown, and definitely so much more strength. I went from, this is no joke, guys. Now, I improved my golf swing a bit anyway, so let's say I improved it by 20 yards. Now, I was shooting about 240, 250 yards off the tee. If I was lucky, and I'm being serious now, 240, 250, but I was quite straight in fairness most of the time, so I didn't mind it as such, because at least, hey, if I could just hit it down the middle of the fairway, you'll be grand. And, excuse me guys, and I'll never forget, I was doing the handstand push-ups, and I went to a new place, and I improved my golf swing. So I would say, if I didn't improve my core strength, I would have hit maybe, let's say, 260, 270. At best now, ladies and gentlemen, at best. But then I got my core a lot stronger, and I hit it 300 yards. And I'm not BSing anybody here. I'm sorry, guys, excuse me. I'm not lying here. 300 yards. I was with 2 of my friends out there on the very first time I did it. I went, huh, oh my God, what the hell? Like, I was totally shocked. I didn't actually think I was going to be able to hit it 300 yards. I wasn't thinking, right, well, my core strength is better now, so I'll be able to hit another 10, 20 yards more. But I did. I couldn't believe it. And even my friends actually confirmed, like, yeah, buddy, you hit it 300 yards. And it was flat. Wasn't uphill or downhill. It was absolutely a flat course. It was amazing. So it's incredible. And the beautiful part of it is, guys, and this applies to weights or anything else you're doing exercise-wise or weight-wise, like even with my golf swing, I remember when I was hitting at 250, 260 yards, I would say I was putting a lot of effort into rotating my body a lot. But then all of a sudden with the core, I was actually, believe it or not, still trying to just hit the ball straight. But the fact that I had a bit more weight in between and more, I suppose, what would you call it? My body was more stable, if that makes sense. And I felt like I wasn't even hitting the ball. In fact, I felt like I was doing the exact same thing I was doing all before. But the fucking ball was going an extra 30, 40 yards. It was incredible. It was unbelievable. It was insanity. Absolutely insanity. So guys, really, food allergy test number 1. Number 2, improve your core strength. Now, there's plenty of ways you can do that. I do handstand push-ups. That is insane for improving your core strength. I personally think it's the best. Now, if you start off doing handstand push-ups, you might, it's so hard at the start, you might only get 1 if you're lucky. It's that tough if your core is weak. But like, if you can do 4 sets of reps, I can do maybe 11 at best, 12 on the first set. Then I go down to maybe like 6 for the second one, 3 or 4 for the third, and then 1 probably, if I'm doing it properly, on my last set of reps. I do 4 sets. Now, is 4 sets good? Doesn't mean, I personally think you need to keep going. Just keep going until you wear yourself out. So it's a great exercise to show how good your core strength is. If you can do over 10 handstand push-ups, you've got a strong core on you. And that is I call it the backswing, you know? Now, even just talking about racing, like when it came to weights, we didn't, as racing drivers, they still don't do it. You still don't go for large weights. You just go for light resistance. I remember there was days where I was lifting like 2 kilo weights in 2 hands each, 4 kilos altogether. So it felt really, wimpy, but that is very, very good for resistance training, keeping the endurance, durability. That's what you're looking for with those weights. Now, guys, is it going to work for everybody? No, but you got to keep in mind your core strength and stretching, guys. That's a huge one. This is so important. So number 1, food allergies. Number 2, core strength. And number 3, stretching after you train. It's so important because you need the blood flowing to the muscles. And if you're not stretched, all of a sudden it just cramps up. It's like, what would you call it? It's like describing a toothpaste container, right? Whereas, let's say, do you know the way you can have like half of your toothpaste still in the container and you've got the top on? And do you ever, you try and squeeze the end of it, right? Pushing the toothpaste up, but the top is still on, the cap is still on, so it doesn't go anywhere, it just sort of clogs up. Like, that's what your body is like. The blood flow clogs up in certain areas. It's not getting to other parts of the body, which is very, very important for healing and just strength as well. It's huge. No matter what kind of, if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to go for Mr. Universe and the biggest, heaviest weights possible, you still need the blood flow. Resistance training, still need the blood flow. If you can get to a sauna, really, really important for you, really, really useful. I would just definitely check those out, guys. Even when I was racing, my heart rate was 48 at rest, which is quite good. I do remember, I think it was Jacques Villeneuve, the former F1 Canadian driver. I was reading an article on him while I was racing now, and mine was 48 and his was 42. Now, I was really chuffed with that because, hey, I was driving Formula Ford. I was only 6 off him. Whereas Villeneuve was at 42 and he's doing, 2-hour races. So for him, he'd have to have a much harder and tougher strategy and more intense strategy and fitness program in general. So as a racing driver, you're going for, my personal opinion, if you're not trying to put on weight, you're not trying to lift weights at the gym, you're just trying to improve your cardio, handstand push-ups, if you really want to improve your core. There's obviously yoga, Pilates, very, very good to improve your core too. Followed by rowing. The rowing machines are absolutely brilliant. Yes, they're great for your shoulders, upper body, but your core is in play here as well. And it really does take a hammering your core, if you really work at it, which is important. So if you're looking for the light resistance, just cardio, rowing machine. Running machine, I wouldn't necessarily do unless you're going uphill. If you can get into the gym and you can angle the machine up like you're doing uphill, that's good. Obviously less impact and less wear and tear on your knees, your entire legs, really. That's what you need to make sure that you don't wear and tear. Very important. And guys, your back as well. Again, if you're improving your core, you're going to be strengthening your back as well, which is very, very important. Always look for the backswing, guys. Your backswing is where the power is at and where the setup is at. So, in close, guys, understand your body. Look what you're trying to do. And food allergies, get those sorted out, number 1. Number 2, develop your core strength, because a lot of your strength is going to come from there anyway. I mean, instead of lifting, example, 100 kilos, you might be able to lift 110 kilos because your core is stronger. And that could mean everything. That could mean difference between night and day. It's always that 1 or 2% extra you're looking for. That's where the real time is. That's where the real peak condition is. That last 1 or 2%. And they're the hardest ones to get anyway. And I would say stretching, guys, is very, very important. Blood flow. You need your body at rest. And guys, get to an allergy test. Like I was saying, probably about 170 euros or dollars, up to $200 or euros, depending on who you're going to. But you'd be surprised what you're allergic to. And here's the weird thing. The way we all get caught in our ways, it's a hobby, a routine. You might be eating dairy products that you're so used to, and your body's built the tolerance up that because you've got a tolerance for it, it doesn't affect you then as bad, but it's still affecting you. You've just got used to it. You'd be amazed at what you'd be allergic to. I mean, I'm unlucky with my diet in a way, even though I feel like I'm blessed to, because it really did give me a fantastic diet for the rest of my life. Now, I always go from junk food too, because I'm not racing anymore, and that's cool, and drink away, and that's cool, but every now and then I come right back to the diet, or improve it, or just make it a little bit better every now and then, and that's fine. But I'm not looking to get to top peak fitness at the moment. So, very, very important, guys. Very, very important. So, guys, thanks for listening. I hope that was informative, and we will be back again. Love you guys. Bye-bye.